You're right, everybody. We are here today taking a look at a little banger by the name of The Pale Beyond. And I found a lot of promise in this one. In particular, it reminded me a lot of a game that we played on the channel a very long time ago, full playthrough on that one, Dead in Bermuda. Now, if you're familiar with that one, essentially, it's a group of stranded survivors on an island. You have to distribute food around, any other necessities in order to keep people alive, and unfortunately, sometimes you would have to make sacrifices. The Pale Beyond is very much like that. It's going to be a very resource management heavy game, where you're going to have to make some really tough calls because we're going to be traveling to the magnetic south, absolute depths of icy cold passages. In that regard, it also reminds me of Frostpunk, where you're going to be making calls for these people out in this frozen tundra, trying to keep them alive, trying to keep them without losing their mind, because here, if food starts dwindling, if heat starts going a little bit scarce, well, people start developing scurvy. And eventually that scurvy leads them to wanting to peck at each other just to keep a little bit of sustenance in their body. Okay, so a little bit of forewarning before we get underway. We are going to start our video off here in week 3. We're going to be skipping week 2, week 1, and the introduction. If you're wondering why we're doing that, well, there's a lot of exposition early on, and week 1 and 2 is just kind of there to teach you the basics. If we go through all of that, we will see next to no gameplay, unfortunately. Week 3 is when it kind of gives you free reign. You can start making choices. It hasn't necessarily hit the fan just yet, you know what, but it soon will. So this is a perfect place to start, kick off at. In case you're wondering though about the introduction in week 1 and 2, I'll give you a Cliff Note version. We are the Temperance ship, our sister ship, the Viscount, when missing 5 years prior down the Pale Passage. Now this quote-unquote rescue operation that we're doing 5 years later, it feels to you, the first crewmate of the captain, that whoever's funding this operation, they didn't really care about what happened to the people of that ship. But there was probably very important research on that ship. That's the reason why we're being sent out there. And here we go. As you can see now, we are starting to breach towards that icy abyss with our ship here. Now, if we come up here, we're going to have a scout. Again, one of our crewmates that we personally had to assign up here during the tutorial. But this is going to be responsible for letting us know where we're at. So we're kind of essentially halfway to our goal, which is Viscount Island. This is the last place that we set port at to acquire some goods and the rest of our crewmates over here. Now, we haven't necessarily met all of our crewmates yet, even in the first 2 weeks of introduction. That's going to be left up to you, and then once you know of them, that's when they become available to you to assign to different places in the ship. So right now, let's go on back here. And the first thing we normally do every single week is we have to handle requests. Our crewmates will have requests of you. Now, at the moment, as you can see, warmth, we're very low on fire and warmth in general, 21 of 100. I think we only have 1 week before this hits 0, so we're gonna see about having to do something this week in order to get some of that. Food as well is also kind of running a little bit low, it does seem, and that's I already slashed the rations by half, so that's dropped the morale by 20, both of these two things already. And then here we have dogs, sled dogs, who we'll need for expeditions out there. So for now, let's go ahead and take some requests here. So this game is kind of broken up into different parts. We're going to have the part where we take these requests, then when we assign people, and then when we do a little bit more of the story aspect where we talk to people and find out information about what's really going on. Captain Hunt appears to be absent. His chair is unoccupied. Interesting. We could wait for him or we get started now. Let's get started. The whole room shudders. Why, I guess so much for that request taking. What happened? Anytime you see anything lit up in yellow, that's kind of like your main objective. But you necessarily don't have to go there immediately. I would always look around to see if you could, in particular, find other crewmates to get some information from. And also, as I mentioned, we haven't met everybody just yet. So this would be a really good way to do that. Here we have our pantry, which, by the way, let's get some of that really quickly. And we're good here. Got some food there. Hopefully when we start cooking, we could add some of that into the mosh pit here of food. Ship stuck then. If you're looking for Hunt, you just missed him, the captain. How? We didn't cross paths. You calm about this, and have you checked the boiler room? Not yet. Hammond's probably pissed off, I imagine. I'm gonna check with my brother. Boiler room? We need some heat, so that's gonna hopefully help hook us up. We also have a coal bunker. Okay, that should also hook us up with some warmth. Okay, perfect. I was a little bit worried about how we're gonna get some of that happening, but I just stumbled into it. Am I interrupting? Not any more than he's interrupting my work. I'm ensuring that the boiler was not damaged in the sudden commotion. And I told you that if it was, you'd already know. I'm not in the business of making mistakes. I know that if the furnace goes, we go down with it. Yes, but you're only one man, with just a pair of engineers as assistants. Just looking at the number of valves, this seems far too much for you to handle. Maybe your bloody benefactor should have considered that. I've gotten used to it now. It would hold, trust me. I will. Well, I will have to, won't I? I don't fancy staying in this ship any longer than necessary. It's imperative that we break free from the ice as quickly as possible. Hammond eyes you, a grimace on his face. First mate's here, but where's the one who got us into this bloody mess? He's a difficult one to find. Yeah, we don't know, where the captain's at. I was hoping Templeton would knew. I was informed by one of the Stokes that I had just missed him. Yeah, so was I. But I have a suspicion as to where he may be now. We're on a ship, an unmoving one at that. The man cannot simply disappear. If he's anywhere, he must be in his cabin. So let's feed the furnace. And let's see, not gonna feed you food? Although apparently we can, that's good. So maybe we end up with no coal down the line and we have an excess amount of food. We could use that, although it's not really too proficient as you can see, but hey, it's something. Stack of coal, right there. Oh, thank you. Okay, so let's come over here to the hoosh pod because we have some hoosh to feed. Perfect. So that hooked us up a little bit. Feed the hoosh. Uh-oh. Feels like we're about to start doing a little bit of expedition here. He's not here. Oh no. Seems like he might be dead in that bathtub. Oh, he was alive. He's just apparently piss drunk. The captain laughs and rings out from behind the door. The captain watches you boat, his head swaying as he chuckles to himself. You are a surprisingly difficult man to get hold of, Hunt, seeing that this is your ship. I know it well. Hunt's eyes turn to you. I believe you two are already acquainted. How long have you been drinking? I don't suppose you care to join. Hunt shakes his hip flask as he holds it out, whiskey sloshing and spilling from the top. And what of you, Shaw? I can't tempt you with some sweet nectar. Sure. What should we toast to? Safe passage, because, you know, we're stuck right now. I drink to that. Don't humor this, Shaw. The liquid warms you, spreading to your fingertips. You hand back the flask. You intend to offer drinks at a time like this. The ship, your ship, is trapped in the ice. It's my ship now, is it? And what do you expect me to do, get the shovels out? You could have heeded Kurt's warning. What do you mean? This isn't your ship. Oh. Shaw, nobody knows we're out here. That doesn't leave this room. No. Wouldn't want to upset your employer. Our benefactor. We all want to be paid after this, don't we? Enough. If you weren't fit to lead this expedition, you should not have agreed to it. You shouldn't be. None of us should be here. Old Kurt paid handsomely to join. You're just a botanist sent to keep an eye on me, a doctor. And then, there's me. What of you? The captain needs his rest. We'll discuss this once he's of sound mind. So it seems that Templeton might be directly related to whoever's the benefactor. So he's the one here keeping an eye on everything. That was a more story-oriented week than I thought we would have. Let's see if the next week will give us a bit more of the actual decision-making. So for now, let's go ahead and hit E to skip to week 4. Lost 15 crew members. Oh. Oh yeah, we're not going anywhere now. Oh, come on, Templeton. Where's the captain now? Nothing. Visibly perturbed, he takes a moment to compose himself. Even the tub is empty. Why would you expect him to be in the tub? Not important. This doesn't make sense. The man seemed barely fit to call himself into bed earlier. What? Alright, Shaw. Captain's missing. You're in charge. Alright. So we're the ones in charge now. Good to hear. Don't get a big head about it. Yes, indeed. The crew are no doubt waking at this moment. There's no doubt scared, confused. It's your duty to keep them calm, to maintain order. It's Shaw's job to get down to the boiler room now. We've already wasted enough time looking for that bastard Hunt. If you stow him down to that room, all you'll be doing is inciting a panic. We need to calm the fears of the crew, maintain an air of focus. Lie to them as the ship goes down. Not at all. Instead, to assure them that we know how to remedy this matter. Incite panic or keep us alive. I mean, I'd rather keep us alive right now than worry about panicking later. If this starts going down, then we're all going to start panicking, right? Hammond is right. We can't waste any more time. The boiler won't wait for us. Fine. I will keep the crew at bay then. If the ship is at least afloat somehow, that's the best way to avoid panic. We have lost some decorum, which is basically our people's mental state of mind. As more of the crew notice you and Hammond descending below, the whispers begin. Soon the crew picks up a pace, walking directionless with hurried footsteps. Kurt approaches. Boiler trouble, I take it. I'll lend a hand. Not when you're walking with that cane you're not. I have enough strength to. Go tell the crew to hit the lower decks, as many as possible. Let's go, Shaw. Time to save this blasted ship. Ahead you can see the brothers trying to open the door to the hold. Trying to get in? Same. Door stuck? Hold of you bastards. We need to get in there. Let's see, we need to keep the furnace alight. It's the only thing that matters. Can you help us? Ooh, gonna help us. Just keep the furnace alight. The metal door unsticks. Grimly looks at you before darting off into the dark. Where's that bloody idiot running off to? To sound the alarm. Bloody hells. Let's get moving. We got an extra crew member now. As you enter, Hammond's engineering teams are hard at work. The larger of the two engineers loses grip of their valve as steam begins to shoot out, causing Hammond to dash forward. Watch it! Hammond tackles the engineer to the ground, saving him from a nasty steam burn. Made it just in time. What's the word, Chief? Keep them valves pumping. We need to avoid a water hammer or we won't be making it off the ship. Get me coal and turn them valves. Valve. Let's go get coal first. Okay. Not sure there's like an element of time here, but I'm trying to just be as fast as possible. Heat furnace. Could I do it again? Oh, thank goodness, apparently. Oh, what the hell is this? When gathering supplies, you can assign an amount of people to instantly gain that many of items. Oh. Yo, perfect. Let's see here. Anybody, like... It doesn't matter, I guess. Nobody really excels. Just come and pick up. 3 of these dudes. Confirm your orders. Okay, excellent. Turn this valve. Let's have... Harold Lefty Turner. Turning the valve. Turner turning the valve. It works out perfectly. Then over here... Gnomes. Turn, my friend. Now, they all have different traits, as you could see. Some of them will be important for certain things. Right now, it just feels like just fill in the spots. With enough hands working in the boiler, you begin to fight back the potential water hammer. Someone's gonna have to hold the furnace in place. Ooh. Let's see. Let's give 2 Johns the roll here. The room shakes. What the hell? Oh, no. Oh. This dude just got lit up. Where the hell is Captain Hunt? He's gone. Well, that was, I wasn't expecting it to get that crazy, but we hadn't even done the request portion. We just basically jumped to, like, story here in week 3. But at least it shows you how crazy it can indeed get. Now let's see, maybe in week 4, we get some of the requests here. Plus, the captain's missing. Now, as you can see here, this is where we have to make choices every single week as well. This is going to drop decorum by 10, but we'll use only half the rations, which I feel like right now we do need, so I'll do that. In terms of fuel, we have no choice but to do this. We got, literally right now, we're going to have to fill it up, obviously, with the sacks of coal that we just picked up with our crewmates. But at least for now, we're going to take a big, big hit. The Tempest is saved from sinking. The Aurora passes, leaving only the bright light. Ah, it was an Aurora Borealis. Of course, that's why it was green. Interesting little flash there for some reason. You were alone in the captain's cabin. Out across deck and be heard the commotion of the crew. Word has spread quickly that Captain Hunt is missing. Shaw. Still no sign of Hunt? I'm afraid not. Hunt is still missing. Side quest. And he isn't alone in that regard. Excuse me? Sanders, Sparrow, and Gran are also unaccounted for. Oh? How are 4 people just missing? As is a sizable food and fuel supply in one of the larger lifeboats. They took off. Shaw, you and I are not naive. It seems quite clear what has happened here. That's the reason why they showed us the boat. This dude took off with those dudes. A new captain must be selected by the crew. Oh, come on. As first mate, you have the most clear argument to take that role. Now let's see, and how do I argue for that role? Your presence in the face of Hunt's absence is the argument in itself. They will hold a vote as soon as possible. The carpenter, Grimley. He's still loyal to Hunt. Many of the sailors will follow his vote, if not all. Though I can assure you, you have the vote of myself and my scientist. Kurt and his crew, I'd like to support you as well. I'm unsure where the engineers would side. They're likely loyal to their pay. John is still recovering from the steam burns, which may end up working to our favor. And the civilians are a mystery. But I believe, when all is said and done, you'll just about make the vote. You're giving us a lot of thought. Of course. It's vital to remain aware of the crew's intention. They're waiting outside, Shaw. They're scared. They don't know where to turn. You and I both understand the importance of maintaining decorum. Though times seem dire, remember, there's a rescue ship on its way. Even if the Empress falls, we still have a potential escape. 35 weeks. The ship will arrive at Viscount Island in 35 weeks from now. We should focus on surviving that long. That is all we need to do, Captain. 35 weeks, huh? The hushed voices become more distinct as you make your way back out into the open air. You notice the absence of John. Because he got lit up by the fire. The crew members notice you and stop. Their attention ripples across the deck. Attention! It should be clear by now that Captain Hunt is no longer serving his post. As such, we should vote the new captain. I nominate Officer Shaw for the role, the clear choice as first mate. And what of Hunt? I do not see him among us, do you? Don't see a body either. He's still out there. You know what happened. Something we can discover. For now, someone has to take the reins of command. All in favor of Officer Shaw. Gonna stink because he's wounded. Templeton's going for us, obviously, with scientist. Arthur Nutley. Loyal to me. Nice. Alright. Grimley. Yeah, him and his crew. Loyal to Hunt. Junior Stoke. Loyal to Hunt. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh. Ooh. I think that was the reporter. Might have had the final vote. Good thing I've been nice to her and letting her do her reporting. Well, the ayes have it. Shaw shall be acting captain from this point forward. Acting in Captain Hunt's stead. The crowd looks at you unexpectedly as Templeton gives you a knowing nod. A moment passes in the cold as they await your next words. Captain Hunt is no longer with us. Those who don't know me, I'm Robin Shaw. Let's start control here. Captain Hunt is no longer with us. As I look to you, it's not long before the obvious question spills from the crew members' mouth. Where is Captain Hunt? Well, let's go with what we think's gonna be the thing for now, right? Captain Hunt abandoned us. You notice Templeton's eyes widen, whispers begin to roll throughout the crowd. You like that, Templeton? He appears to have led this expedition along with 3 missing crew and one of our lifeboats. I'm gonna win you guys over with trust, I'm not gonna lie to you, how about that? Silence hangs in the air. I know you're all scared. As long as we keep our wits, there's no reason we can't survive this. Does anybody take issue with me taking the charge? Let's see if we can have a good jump off from that. I know you're all scared. But there's no time for that. The crowd begins to bubble up once more, with more and more questions coming from the surface. Members of the crew start speaking out one by one, with questions thrown your way in quick succession. How are we supposed to survive out here? Is help coming? What about our pay? Will we still be paid? Get on with your work. We'll have to rely on each other. Our immediate priority is to wait it out until we are either freed from the pack or help arrives, is to find additional food. Current supplies will take us only so far trapped in the ice. Is to prepare ourselves for land navigation. This ship is an unreliable place to remain. Interesting. Right now we need some additional supplies. I know this is what we signed up for. Ask for reports and you know where to find me. Keep me posted. I would like to lead the head of each station to report to me going forward. I thought we had an understanding. I won't lie to them. If we can't be honest with each other, what chance do we have? I hope you're right. In a perfect world, right, Falcon, where nobody lies to each other. Everybody's just honest. What a perfect world that would be. Okay. Let's see. Captain's cabin. Oh, we could actually take some requests. Perfect. Because we're starting to run a little bit low on time here. But, luckily we can indeed do that. So this is what technically would happen at the very start of the week itself. You saw the duties of the captain firsthand while serving Hunt. Yeah, I know. Okay, so this week we have Kurt and Cordell, Hammond, Boiler Room Dude, Junior. So this guy is kind of like, the lead of our scout, so it's very important to see what's coming up ahead. He's also the one that kind of warned us that we might get stuck in the ice if we continued further, and guess what happened? We got stuck in the ice. Captain, I brought the Kennel Master with me. This is something you will both want to hear. And she's the one in lead of the dog sledding team. I have a strong suspicion on what this matter is. I was planning to speak with the captain on it myself. Fortunate happenstance then. Captain, I know these conditions well. I've seen them before. Any idea of the Temperance being freed of the ice anytime soon is a pipe dream. We need to press on. We need to become aware of our new environment. Trust me, Captain, we'll be living off of it for quite some time. Oddly pessimistic, and what of you, Cordell, do you agree? So you're suggesting we live off the ice? Do you agree, Cordell? Indeed. The dog sleds will need to be exercised regularly, and there's no better way than to engage in hunting. We're quite lucky despite the circumstances. Now is the peak time for hunting and navigation. And navigation? Traversing the ice may be a possibility in the future. We need to be prepared for that. If we're to survive out here, we need to know what lies ahead. These are uncharted territories, Captain. We have no idea where we are. Your current rations are not set to last forever either. Send any hunting party to me, as you please. My dogs and I will ensure their survival. The same sentiment for myself and any scouting teams. If you wish the great unknowns to be braved and charted, I'm your man. We need to know what lies ahead. Keep looking forward. Okay. Well, that went fairly well. We got some loyalty with them as well, so I think we made the right choice there. Hammond, Boiler Room, what's up? Saving the boiler was only the start of the troubles. Have you seen the state of this bloody ship? It has certainly seen better days. She's bleeding in the lower decks. I believe the older stoke is attempting to rectify that. We need to stockpile as much fuel as we can. If the furnace runs out by the end of the week, we die. If we spend too long on the ship, we die. If we don't stockpile enough for the winter, we die. Aye. Get me some coal. Get in the furnace. I'm afraid he's not wrong. The coal bunkers are our only source of fuel for the time being. Until we can procure alternatives, we should assign crew to shoveling whenever possible. Okay. And this is Junior, I think the brother of Grimly, dude's loyal to Hunt. The ice looks unbudgeting, doesn't it? It would seem that way, yes. Crew seems to think so. They think if we don't intervene, the Temperance will never get freed. If you're suggesting breaking the ice, I can assure you that won't work. I'm not. They are. No intervention is going to break up the ice enough to free the ship. Putting others to work on that is simply a waste of manpower. Hey, maybe. They're scared though, worried. They just want to feel like they tried something. If it will raise spirits, it's worth the attempt. Templeton's right, we cannot waste crew on a pointless task, so... This will probably raise morale, which is good for, making sure people don't go nuts, but we're going to be probably a little bit short-handed for other tasks around the ship. Let's do it for now, maybe if later we can just pull them off. Let's go with the Juniors, since Junior's the one over here pushing this for us, so I imagine they're the ones who would probably put in more work for this. We have to at least give 3. We can go up to 5, but at the minimum we need 3, and I'm going to give you the minimum for now. If it'll raise spirits, it's worth the attempt. Decorum 9, lost Richard Templeton's loyalty. I'll see you for dinner, Captain. Don't forget the Hush pod needs fed. Alright, we're done with the requests here for this week. That said, everybody, we've gone long enough here with this one. I hope you have enjoyed, as I've mentioned. Had to skip forward to kind of get some gameplay happening, otherwise it would have just been nothing but story. But this is definitely one that's very intriguing. I think it's more one of those games that's probably better to play for yourself than actually watch, because then you can kind of take everything in. But hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'll catch you next time.